We're live. And just give us give her a countdown, and then make sure they're both green. Okay, so.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to another episode of The Q. Tonight we have a very special episode, and we're interviewing Dominic Damiano of 4 Deep Sports, our producer, so it's good to see you
You too.
sitting here versus...
I know, it's different. I feel smaller. Maybe it's the camera. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, I realize that a lot of people don't know what you do,
Right.
and so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity. And you've had some sort of tragedy happen, so we're going to talk about that a little bit in the show. And as a result of that, you're running a fundraiser. But let's talk about your passion of 4 Deep Sports.
Okay. It all started about 9 years ago. It actually started before that. I actually did a show, which, of course, the viewers don't know, called Talking Taunton Sports, living in Taunton. And I was on local access television on TCAM TV. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to, I always watched, being a fan of the sportscasters, how they do that. And I said, I can do that. That looks like fun. But I always said to myself, and in this state is probably the worst. And I can honestly say, as I get tongue-tied, me, all the New England states, they don't highlight any high school youth athletes. The only time you actually see a high school youth athlete get highlighted is when they're in the championship game in the big channel, all the big channels of 10, 5, 7, and they're there. They're watching the championship game, and now they just started doing it on the New England Sports Network with the Super Bowls. But I always thought, even back then, you don't give them any recognition. What about the teams that are so-so? They're still trying. Kids are still doing good in work and keeping their grades up, believing in team concept. Training hard, keeping their grades up so they can stay on these teams, So that all started back in the Talking Taunton Sports era. And then I ran into a gentleman, who's now a city councilman in Taunton, called John McCall. And he was doing a show on the station in Taunton called Mind Your Business for area businesses. And him and his partner, who has a couple businesses in Taunton, Eddie Carrera, they said, you should come on and do a show. You can talk about the NFL and the NHL and the NBA and Major League Baseball. And I said, you know what, that's kind of old. Everyone does it. All the Boston stations do it. The Rhode Island stations do it. You hear it all. Everyone talks about the Patriots. And I said to myself, and I was still living on the same premise when I started talking Taunton Sports, about what about these young kids? Now I have a chance to reach out, not just Taunton, because I did that.
I know you only cover 4 sports. I know that's how it started.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So what
were the 4 sports you started? Because you're way past 4.
Yeah, we're way past 4 now. I'm sorry. It was, being a general sports fan, it was hockey, baseball, basketball, and football.
So what is it now?
Oh, now
just give us an idea.
Oh, now
we don't have time to do the whole list.
Oh my God, I'll throw a number. I'll say 11 different sports because there's so many different.
But really, is there a sport you don't cover?
No, there's not. I didn't get into like archery or anything like that. I haven't done that. Or kids are now into doing, handgun shooting, target range. That's a sport. Kids are getting into that. They're trained well.
Right.
They understand if they win and they finish and they work out and they learn the craft good, they get a trophy.
Yeah.
And they get recognition, but they don't get recognition anywhere else.
Right.
So I have a chance to do that with them. I get a chance to bring them and make them feel like $1 million. I like ESPN, and like you said, brag. Mm-hmm. I want to hear all the story. I want to hear you. I don't know what's going on.
Not everybody can win.
That's right. Not everybody can win. That's true. And they're on a show too. In the past, I've had Stoughton baseball, and this was like 7 years ago. And those poor guys lost. They played 20 games. They lost 9 games by 1 run. But I thought it was interesting that they were in every game. So I had them sit down and we lost. We lost so many games by 1 run. I said, yeah, I know. I said, you got 9. You should be in the playoffs right now. But you used a work ethic. You worked very hard to stay in those games.
Right.
And no one knows that.
And they don't quit.
And they didn't quit.
Right.
And they did the right thing. They did their schoolwork. They conditioned. They believed in the team concept. They pass it on to the younger kids. And unfortunately, they fell short. So I thought that was an important story to get out there. Or any team like that. You know what I mean? Not just the championship teams. But, again, some of these championship teams don't get recognition. They don't get noticed.
Right.
Until they make it to the big plethora.
How do you get to all these games? I'm just wondering. I know you got the
I'm
sleigh
everywhere.
and Rudolph is leading the.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I have a lot of help sometimes with I should say I do have a lot of help. I know, it's not like a double negative, I guess, where I'm saying this one helps me out, and then I'm there. It's more like I'll call the ADs, and I'll call like the team manager, and I'll say, is there any way you can shoot me that score? I really want to get that score out there. I think it's real important. And
Right.
it could be a small Division 4 tech school playing, or it could be a big Division 1 school like Brockton High School playing with 4,800 kids, and they're going to the, you know what I mean? It didn't matter. That's how I usually do. I usually ask, hey, Dan, I'm getting sidetracked again. Sorry about that.
No.
You know?
No, I think it's important because the name is deceiving.
It is deceiving.
Because it says 4 sports.
Yeah, 4 deep sports.
It should say 44 sports.
should say 40.
Route 44 and
Or
sports.
maybe I should change it next year to Deep Sports Talk. You know what I mean? But I think it's been around. This will be my 9th year doing this,
Right.
January 8th.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe I should change. You're right.
No,
44
but that's
sports.
great. And I understand the fact that you started with, you thought only 4 sports.
Exactly.
And then you had,
Cheerleading. I'm like, oh my God, there's a bunch. Then you had gymnastics, and then
that wasn't in the plan.
wasn't in the
initially.
plan.
Not initially.
Yeah,
Not initially.
No, not initially. But I thought it was so cool because they worked as hard as every other sport.
Right.
The other 4 sports, I'm like, wow, I really need to mention them. And of course, my friends would kid with me. Oh, you're going beyond 4 sports now? I said, yeah, I don't think of it like that. I think of a great opportunity
Well,
to
it
hear
was
their
fine
story.
when you were at like 5, maybe.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 5 turned into 6, 7, and 8, then 11, and then next.
Then it went to 44.
Then it went to 44. It was
Right.
crazy, right?
Right. So, where did your love come for sports, though? Where did that come from?
Probably, being a high school football, from the home originally. My father, my older brother were always watching the Patriots when they were terrible, and watching the Bruins when they're trying to win the Stanley Cup and fall short. Just a regular house type deal, I guess, atmosphere. Us always turning the TV, watching.
But what made you think of an idea which was, I think I'm going to highlight all these sports?
Because I never saw it. You never saw it anywhere.
No, you didn't. That's right.
You never see it. So I said, wow, wouldn't it be nice to give them some recognition?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, what about, so you were in the Navy, right?
I was in the service for 9 years, 26 days. How's it going? How do I say it before? 9 years, 26 days, and so many hours. I used to have it down better than that. I just read off my my sheet when I was getting processed out. How many years you were in? 9 years, 26 days, something like that.
So, do you find that, what's the youngest group that you do? That you
The youth, 7-year-olders, they're cute as a
7.
button. Oh, yeah, they're
Yeah.
cute as a button. And they're the Mighty Mites. It could be anywhere. It could be out of the Old Colony Youth Football League, which is on the other side of Route 3. You have Hingham, Raynham, the Bridgewaters over there, and the Marshfields. And, you bring them in there, and they're bragging about their little season. All the girls' hockey. They can be, 8, 9 years old, and I'm over at the Taunton
That's
rink.
cute.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Or I'll go to a sponsor's, depending who the sponsor is at the time, I'll go to their establishment, if it's a restaurant, and we'll sit in there and, and highlight. At the same time, I'm saying thank you to a sponsor, but at the same time, these girls are playing supposedly a boy sport, and they're kicking butt, and they're having
Love
fun.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. So, what do you think, in your opinion,
Yeah.
is the best reason to sign your child up for sports? I know, it's probably
the structure.
multiple.
The first thing is the structure of it, because if anything, I don't want to say it's a boot camp, but there's structure there. You have to pay attention so you don't get hurt.
Right.
And if you pay attention, you'll become mechanically sound at the sport you're playing. Let's say hockey. That's a skill. You have to learn how to skate before you can actually move up to the squirts,
Right.
the little guys, and the pee-wees, and the bantams, and all that. But the structure's there, and when the kid naturally, hopefully, falls, or whatever, maybe changes sports, falls in love with that sport, he understands, I got to practice well, let's say it goes to baseball. I got to practice hitting the ball. See the ball to hit the ball, right?
Right.
As I always say, I got to pay attention so the ball won't hit me in the face, but I can make a great catch because my glove's out there, learning how to run, learning the strategy of the game.
So really, it's multidimensional.
It really is.
Because as a child's growing, obviously, developmentally,
Yep.
I mean, motor skills are really important.
It really is. And
Like, I can't throw a ball to save my life. I probably couldn't catch one either. I'm just saying.
Right.
But, I think to myself, they learn so much more in sports
Right.
than they learn even in school or at home.
They do because it's fun. I'm with my buddy.
Right.
I'm throwing the ball around. We're on the hockey rink together, and we're all skating around with our little shoelaces. We look like we're tied together, all
Right.
going after the same puck.
Right.
I got a big helmet on my head, and I'm 7 years old, and I look like a bobblehead doll. I'm trying to learn how to tackle and
Yeah.
run with the ball right, and learn the right mechanics on how to tackle so I don't get a concussion and, stuff like that. Oh, yeah.
So, when did you start coaching, or did you start umpiring first?
No, I started coaching in 1984. I used to coach, once I left the high school, I grew up in Brockton, I coached Hercules Construction Company out of South Junior High School. And all my friends, my brother kind of paid attention, he had his thing going on. What do you call it? So I used to get a little slack from my friends. Oh, you're an East Side kid. What are you coaching? Well, that was all that was open. So I love the way my coaches coached me. I wanted to pass that on. So I did that for about 2 years. Then I joined the service, the 9 years, 26-day routine there.
Yeah.
Right. And then I got out and I got married, and I had a son who to this day is my hero when it comes to playing sports. I still have all his baseball jerseys. So I'm looking to someday frame them and put them up in my office, wherever my office finally gets to be.
Right.
So I can show his son. See that? That's my hero.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to doing that.
So it's a family thing. It's kind of been passed down.
It is, but they're not into it as much as I am. They love sports. They just don't. Sometimes they think. Even my wife today, she says, "Oh, you're crazy. The passion you do. Who's well, it's not about me getting recognized. I'm never behind the camera. This is the first time in.
I know.
I'm out of here. I'm like you when you do your show. I like seeing these people, express themselves, and there's always a good point. There's so much negativity, and there's so much
That's my
positivity.
line.
I know that.
That's
I'm stealing that. I'm going to pay you.
You can have it. You can have it. Go ahead.
There's so much positivity that needs to be said, and these kids,
Right.
not even knowing, they come in, they let it out, and they just exhale and let it all out. And just to see that, and they're so happy. And again, Lucy can tell you, I don't know if you had a chance to, I know you're busy during the weekend, it's your time, but if you ever had a chance to listen to these kids, it's so awesome. There's those, they have such a good point to get across about how they train and how they want to pass it on to the other kid. Of course, I'm referring to the high school side, and the coaches, what they expect, and and how happy they are that they did well. And again, that comes from that structure, learning the structure from a young age, staying with the sport, understanding that there's, again, structure. You have to learn the mechanical ability and how to perform so you won't get hurt and you become a better player. And then the strategy and how you can beat the other team. And most of all, keeping your grades up.
That's very important.
Very important. You can get kicked off that team quicker than you can blink. You might have Kerry Quintel that can hit three-pointers left and right, but if she has 2 Fs, see you later.
Right.
You're off the team.
And what a great way to keep them motivated.
Oh, yeah. And then that's how college is. The colleges, and I see it all the time. There's kids like, and I'll use Coyle and Cassidy. There's a couple. This is a long time ago, but one kid he could throw the ball. Oh, he had some great pitcher. So you had Northwestern coming in to see him, actual Notre Dame coming to see them.
Uh-huh.
What's his GPA? Oh, he's 3.4. See you later. Stop my car up. I'm out of here. Doesn't make my our minimum requirement to go to Notre Dame or Northwestern or whatever.
Right. Well, we're going to take a break.
Okay.
And when we come back, we're going to talk about your show on Saturday.
Thank you.
And we're going to talk a little bit about your fundraiser that's coming up
Great.
after the holidays.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about what you need to help these kids stay in the athletic program and to continue your dream of bringing athletes first.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to just take a break now. host of The Q, a show dedicated to hope, inspiration, and giving back to the community. Please tune in live Monday evenings at 7 p.m. You can also watch us on a V-stream at 4dsportstalk.com. We have shows dedicated to hunger, yoga adventures, homeopathy, pain relief, and much, much more. We hope to see you Mondays at 7 p.m. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Carrie Quintel, host of The Q, a show dedicated to hope, inspiration, and giving back to the community. Please tune in live Monday evenings at 7 p.m. You can also watch us on a V-stream at 4dsportstalk.com. We have shows dedicated to hunger, yoga adventures, homeopathy, pain relief, and much, much more. We hope to see you Mondays at 7 p.m. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Carrie Quintel, host of The Q. The Q, we're interviewing Dominic Damiano of 4 Deep Sports, better known as 44 Sports. I'm going to rename it, I tell you.
Okay, that's a good.
So we were talking a little bit about your passion for showcasing young athletes.
Yep.
And that not everybody can win the championship or
Right.
the gold medal or whatever it is.
Right.
And so the fact that children work really hard at their sport and that they can be showcased as well.
Absolutely.
But you also work with Bristol Community College as well.
That's correct. Every year for the last 6 years, I've had the pleasure with Dave LePage, who is the professor of that department. I apologize, his department strikes me for a second. And he calls me and said, Dom, I have a kid that wants to get into communications. And I said, okay, well, let him go to the website. Let him read, which I have here, and I can elaborate a little bit more about what the internship entails. And briefly, it entails getting time at 80 Spring Street in Bridgewater, the video side, as far as how to, do the video that you just taped or were part of, whatever the shoot might be.
Right.
It could be a youth or high school event, or in the station, when we stream live here in Attleboro
Yep.
at 13:20 a.m. every Saturday at noon, where you have that footage again. Either you're part of it, or the kid will learn how to be a broadcaster, or he's learning how to do the camera.
And there's a lot to it there.
Oh yeah, you've seen it up close.
No. I couldn't do it.
It's a lot of fun. So I broke it up into 3 characters, three groups, and it's basically production assistant 1, 2, and 3, all volunteer, of course. So I sit down, and Lucy had a chance this last time. It was her first time doing it. Where we sat down, we met a nice young man named Chase Little. He actually came in, I think, one day during a shoot we were doing. And I asked him, did you read what you're going to do? And of course he said yes.
That was good.
Right.
That was good.
Right. And he says, well, do you understand what it entails? You have to get so much time in, at the station on Saturdays, and you're going to learn how to run the panel. And I'll just break it down. I won't go over all of them, but.
Now, do they get credit for that?
They do.
They do. So
they do get credit, yes.
So it's an educational piece.
Yeah, it's like a separate course. If I remember,
Yep.
It's a separate course they take.
Like an independent study?
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. And
Yep.
it's towards, to get their associate's degree.
Right.
So they learn, again, how to run I'll start with the radio side, and I'll work it all in.
Okay.
They learn how to run the board over at 13:20 a.m. And they understand how it's all laid out. How do you cue somebody in? How to take calls?
That part we
Right.
little.
And it's all digital, which is awesome, because the old station I did in Taunton was an analog system, and you flip the switch. It's almost like watching Frankenstein light up the monster.
I used to lose people on that station.
Well, we did. That's true. That's true.
It was all fun. I was learning.
That's right.
Apparently, I flunked out of that
No, you did
course.
fine.
Go
You did
ahead.
fine.
Yeah.
So they learn how to do that, and then they learn how to talk, how to be themselves.
Right.
And before I get to the other steps, the other production assistant parts of it, they say, "What do I do?" I said, "Just be yourself."
Right.
I said, "You see me talking to you?" And of course I'm trying to crack a joke so they understand. And I always tell them, "You're not going to butcher the English language as bad as I do." I said, "I'm a pro." I said, and when those cute young ladies are in there, and those adorable young men, and they're sitting there, and we're trying to get these answers out so they can brag, I'm gonna flip up the English language one way or another. And they're gonna loosen up. And they're going to say, well, if he can do it, he's been doing it for a while, I guess I can make a mistake. And they're going to realize then they'll just become. So be yourself. It's always good to get material down on what school you're doing so you know a little bit about them. But eventually,
if you don't,
but do you
no,
expect them to brag? Exactly.
Exactly.
They're gonna brag anyway. You hope they're gonna brag, but it's always good to have some notes, maybe some stats on them. You know what I mean? How they
So
did.
do you ever get kids that are super shy?
Oh yes, I do.
So what do you do there?
You have to keep on kind of what we're doing now. Keep on talking. Oh, okay. And I will not name the group.
No,
but
no, we're not singling anybody out.
No, we won't.
There's
Right.
different people.
Exactly correct. And unfortunately, you fall into that criteria where they just happen to be nervous. So you sit there and, hey, you had a great season. Any advice you can give the young? And I'm trying to work into my typical questions. And I just try to set them. Every group is different. I'll wing it a different way. So what advice can you give the young kids? The young kids want to make coach's team next year. Yeah. I said,
Yeah, what?
and then I look over at my partner, and I don't know if Lucy was there at the time, but no, I don't believe she was with me at the time. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be a long day today.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, let us know. We want to hear what's going on. So you must have done something to get yourself ready for off the off season. You love the sport you're in. Well, we did a little bit of went to the weight room and we ran. That's all you did? You just went to the weight room and you ran? You didn't practice pitching and catching and throwing and hitting and
Right.
stuff? And then they finally loosen up and then
Right.
and then I tell them, I said, this is important. I said, and I apologize. I don't mean to cut you off, but I tell the kids, this is important. These are the kids who want to make this team, want to, be in your position next year, maybe go for a division title or a conference title or a state championship. It takes work, and they look up to you.
Right.
I don't know if you realize that, And then by then, they're by the time they come out of their own, show's over. It's time to go home. Thank you for watching 4 Deep Sports Talk.
Yeah, but it's all about the experience for them.
It is. It really is.
And you don't expect someone to be a excellent communicator at 7.
No.
Right?
But the coach bails them out, of course. But they're adorable because it's all
They're adorable.
Well, my mommy said, as long as and it's awesome. It's totally awesome. And anything they say is awesome. So they're so darn cute. They're on the camera. Or if something happens, we can't get them. Even on the radio, if it's podcast, and if you can't pick them up on the stream because it's that type of situation when you're driving,
Right.
And you can't pick up the signal on the radio, but you can listen to the podcast,
Right.
They're adorable. Oh, they're so cute. No matter if it's the little girls doing the cheerleading, or the kids doing the boys, all the girls doing ice skating, I should say too, and they're just sitting out there, and they're just just those long-winded answers, like they're out of breath. Well, it's so adorable. And the coach, picks them up and, hey, tell them about how much fun we had over in Norwell playing hockey and all this.
Well, I think in society in general, there's a different attitude. Like there's a fine line between humble,
Yep.
right?
Exactly.
And conceited or
Right.
cocky or
Exactly.
however you want to call it.
Right.
And I think at first glance, children are afraid to come off the wrong way.
Yeah, they
right?
are. They are. That's true. And like you said, the little kids are ours, but and then it all depends on your upbringing, how you brought up. If you're in a tough environment,
Right.
and now you're standing in front of me, right? And unfortunately you're in that situation where you've always been, just shy.
Right. You're not outgoing.
You're not outgoing,
Right.
And it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to bring it out of them, but I try. We always try, and usually we'll get something because you have Lucy's side of it and my side, and that's totally two different people asking you questions.
Right.
You
right.
know, so usually 9 times out of 10, we accomplish what we want, what we get done with these kids, and they're able to express their, how hard they worked, again, how they stayed in school, how much fun it was to be in a championship team, or how close it was to be so close to get what you wanted to,
Right.
You know what I mean? Those different scenarios.
And I think it's really important for the youth today to stay in school.
It
and
is.
so, with all the problems, I mean, we've all seen the heroin epidemic,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, dropouts in school and inner cities. And
Right.
it is important to be proud of something that you do, whether you do it well. You might not do it well initially. I mean, we all didn't start doing things well.
Right. No,
we have to practice.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot.
Exactly. Whether you're doing your craft, I'm doing my craft, or these kids are, hitting the book so they can work on their craft they love to do.
Well,
whatever
they're doing
sport they're
double
playing.
duty, right?
They're doing double duty, exactly.
Because they have to keep the grades up.
Right, and the coaches always get the progress reports, and and they got it's almost basically getting them ready for college.
Right.
if they might be that one outstanding athlete that might get a shot at a college.
So what would you think about parents who might be saying, well, you think maybe it's too much for my kid to do a sport? Again, if we would just...
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Because I think in that aspect, the way you said that, they have yet to do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They have yet to give it their shot because you're worried about Johnny or little Lucy.
Yeah.
What if they get hurt? You know, and not to sound like an ordinary Joe here, but Johnny or Lucy could get hurt crossing the street to get a gallon of milk.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you don't know what the man upstairs is going to throw at you for a scenario.
That's right.
So why not go out there and hang out with your friends, stay in a good, again,
A good setting.
Exactly. And,
You're not out on the streets.
right. But then some kids ain't made for sports. Some kids love to watch it, but they may be intimidated. But at the same time, it may not just be their cup of tea. And their cup of tea might be doing what we're doing right now.
Right. I have
You
to be
know?
honest with you. I don't think I was ever good at a sport. I really wasn't. I read all the time.
But I mean,
did
like
my
the
book.
broadcasting part and, learning that. They might not be a
Exactly.
sport, but they might want to do communications,
Right. Now, do you do any speaking arrangements at all?
No, not
None.
really.
Not even at the college?
No, not yet. I haven't been asked, but I have been. On a lighter note, I have been asked to be the ring announcer for Showcase Pro Wrestling. So I guess
That's 45 sports.
that's 45 sports. So I've done that, but not really. I haven't had the pleasure. I would love to have the pleasure to, and
Like career day or something,
yeah, right.
no?
I haven't been off to do career day. I'm offered right now from Curry College. But I think it's more where you set up the table and the kids ask you about it.
Right.
And that'd be great. I'll put the banner up, maybe get some informational brochures out there and,
Right.
and go from there. That would be fun.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take another break.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we're going to talk about sort of the tragedy that struck a month ago?
Late October. Last week of
Ooh,
October.
It was that long ago.
Oh, it was.
Okay. So we're going to come back and we're going to talk about that tragedy and how you have turned something positive from that,
Yeah.
which is your fundraiser that you have.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that,
Great.
and we'll be right back.
Excellent.
inspiration, and giving back to the community. Please tune in live Monday evenings at 7 p.m. You can also watch us on a V-stream at 4dsportstalk.com. We have shows dedicated to hunger, yoga adventures, homeopathy, pain relief, and much, much more. We hope to see you Mondays at 7 p.m. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Carrie Quintel, host of The Q, a show dedicated to hope, inspiration, and giving back to the community. Please tune in live Monday evenings at 7 p.m. You can also watch us on a V-stream at 4dsportstalk.com. We have shows dedicated to hunger, yoga adventures, homeopathy, pain relief, and much, much more. We hope to see you Mondays at 7 p.m. Thank you. Welcome back. We're talking to Dominic Damiano of 4 Deep Sports, and it's been a lot of fun. But we let's talk about the tragedy in October and what happened. And I know that was pretty devastating, especially
It really was.
especially to the young athletes. So let's talk about what happened. I think it was midday.
It was midday.
In October.
It was last week of October before Halloween, and I got a call from my mother-in-law at work, and she has COPD, so she's huffing and puffing and trying her best to let me know someone broke in the house. You need to get home. So, as I catch myself, because now I'm going to get a little upset here, I said, "Ma, what the heck are you talking about?" Right? We had that type of reply.
Right.
She said, "Dom, and she's trying to get someone broke in the house. You need to get home." So my boss saw me talking. It was right around my lunch break.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Get home."
This is during the day.
This is during the day,
Yep.
like 11:30.
Yep.
So I get home, and I see 2 cop cruisers there, 2 police cars, and I see my mother-in-law's, her sister was there. So I walk in, all the cabinets are open. There's a black bag on my kitchen table. I go up to my room, and it looks like a hurricane went through. Every single drawer was flipped over. Everything in my closet was flipped over. Even the bathroom. We have a nice little walk-in bathroom, and every medicine, you name the pill, it was, was taken. Ibuprofen, it was all. And what they did is they took it out and they put it back down like we're going to use it. So then I go upstairs, and then my heart dropped. All my gear was gone. Just about all my gear. Maybe a couple wires.
Let's talk about a value on that gear for a second.
We're talking
I need you not to underestimate this, by the way.
at least over $11,000 worth of gear.
Okay.
At least laptops, wires. I had more than one broadcast box. I had converters.
Because last time we spoke, we were up to 7,000. So
software that I had, special software for the laptop.
Right.
So I'm looking at that, and my heart just stopped. So then I was lucky enough that some of my other gear didn't get stolen, but it kept me going. It kept me going. So then I had to go.
But most of it was gone.
Most of it was gone.
Most of it.
Gone.
And so there was someone home when they broke in, right?
My mother-in-law was home. And
So
they
this
were
wasn't just a
upstairs.
break-in. This was a home invasion.
Exactly. She walked in from her sister.
Oh, good God.
With her sister walking in, and she heard the thump of the feet upstairs, and she starts yelling at them.
Oh,
And-
no.
Yes, and exactly. And my sister said, "We have to go right now. We have to get out of here right now."
Right?
Because she walked into the same thing I saw, the kitchen cabinets open, everything all over the kitchen table, and oh my God. So she leaves, and that's when they call, and that's when they go in the car, they lock the doors, they call the police, they run out the door, the back door, and she's so worked up, she decided, thinking about chasing them, and she's in no condition to chase anybody. So she gets her sister has a grab her composure. She doesn't do that.
But it's a huge invasion.
Oh, big time. Big time.
I mean,
oh, it's incredible. It's incredible. When you go up there, my heart just dropped. I said, no more, and I'm trying, and I'm a very upbeat person. Everyone never met me. I'm very upbeat. Doesn't matter the situation, I want to turn into a joke because there's no reason to crying over, you got to move on. That type
Right.
that's how I am. But I always look at the brighter side of things too. So I'm up there and I'm looking at my room. I almost wanted to cry.
I believe it.
Right. Then when I started to use some of my gear that I did have, they smashed it. I got converters still that don't work to this day. I got to go back and forth and reboot them and try to turn them on. And
I know this, and I'm sorry to cut you off,
all right.
but let's talk about this. Right after this happened, you
Right.
and I did a show. We did the Q.
that's right.
And we had all kinds of problems because we didn't have the software, we
Right.
didn't have the right wires.
That's right. Exactly.
I mean,
and then it
I
sent
don't
the
even
pulse
know
and
how
shut
you
the camera off.
How did you even piece it together? Because I thought we can cancel the show for a little while, and you were
Right.
like, no, we're going to do it.
Right. Right.
And I thought, how can we do it without the right?
The right equipment. Right.
And it was tough.
It was tough because I had to figure out, and even to this day, you hear the converters, you hear it rattling around. So, just like any jerks, I'll just say that they went above and beyond to make my life and my wife's life and my mother-in-law's life like a normal thief does.
And I'm not going to talk about the case in general, okay?
Yeah.
But you do know now,
Right.
because we've talked about this, that it was over drugs.
Oh yeah,
Right?
definitely over drugs.
So,
yes.
so literally, they took anything worth of value, and they didn't only take that. Let's not. I want to make sure we're not sugarcoating this under
Right.
any
Oh,
circumstances.
we're definitely not. We're doing it very late.
exactly. But they took all kinds of things. They took
Oh, yeah.
jewelry.
Yes.
They took. I mean, they ransacked your
Oh
house.
yeah, cameras. My wife sold cameras, pictures. I don't know why you would take frames, but they took picture frames of my grandfather 2 weeks before he passed away. My daughter, she's 2 years old. She's on his lap. I'm saying to myself, why would you do that? And same thing with my wife's.
Why would you
grandparents.
rob somebody who's home?
I don't know. Well, they had to take it. They had to take a guess because they took a shot and they didn't know my mother. I hope they didn't know, but they went by. They saw nobody there and they took a shot. I guess did something stupid. They just didn't know they were going to get caught.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was going to come back, and they thought it was going to be an easy. I mean, they left the nuker on. They were cooking nuggets, and oh my god, it was
Crazy.
It was crazy. People with no morals.
But you never missed a beat.
I tried not to. I didn't want to let you down. I didn't want to let the kids
Let me down.
You know
how
what I mean?
could you let me down?
Well, being a
You've
producer.
just been
of the
robbed.
Q- I know, but I try to be an upbeat person in everything I do. And I always say, no, there is a way. There's a way to get this done. Oh, this just happened. You just lost. There's a way to get it done. There's got to be a way to get it done. And then with your moral support and Lucy and a lot of help from Jeff Fowler from Bridgewater Access TV, and of course James Jones from Attleboro Access Double Aces TV,
Yep.
and 1320 AM. Oh, they were just a bond. They were great.
But again, you have not been able to replace $11,000 in equipment.
No, not at all.
And so
So
yes,
the good part is
yes,
now the good part is that we're having a fundraiser
yes.
on February 18th, and I picked a general location because I thought I know the place. I've seen them do it before, so they're familiar with doing fundraisers. I'm referring to Home Plate Restaurant on 1094 Bay Street in Taunton.
Right.
And it's right off 495. It's easy to get to. It's right down the road, maybe 2 miles. And we're looking to do a 2-hour show. We are going to do a 2-hour show. And we're going to keep it going. We're going to try to bring in maybe 4 different kids from 4
Yeah,
different
he's
teams.
keeping the 4. Good,
Keeping
good.
the 4, yeah. I didn't even think about it last time.
Right.
Lucy will be there. We're going to have a raffle. We're going to have a 50-50.
Yeah.
We're already giving out 400 tickets. I'm already through 400 between all my good friends that have helped me out. Within the last, oh my God, I got the tickets, 2 days ago?
I know, I need some more.
And they're gone. I just had to put another order into the high school now to get more made.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're trying to finalize our GoFundMe page. So if you can't go, and then of course it's just getting the word out.
Right.
Getting the word out to people that understand. It's not just about the kids being shown off. It's about these kids in colleges that, not to elaborate, but now when you get equipment, my point is now I have the equipment and they can learn more.
Right.
With better equipment. Then they can, and then with better
Well,
equipment.
the reality is, if I got to
Yes,
interrupt you on
please.
this one. I have to.
Yes.
The bottom line is you don't want to let the kids down.
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to let them down.
So
Either
that's
the
the bottom
college,
line.
exactly. Either the college or the kids I'm going to highlight on Saturday, or when we stream the games. Well, now I'm using a lot of borrowed equipment.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the
Right.
situation I'm at.
Right.
And
Well,
which is great, but eventually you know what I mean. I feel like I'm imposing.
right.
And I want to get back to my old ways where again, hopefully with a good fundraiser, I can go
So-
above and beyond and get decent gear and have these college kids learn how to do all this what we're doing, and at the same time keep on highlighting the kids.
So give us an idea if you can. these headsets that we have on?
These headsets are on?
How much are these headsets? If you know, again.
Yeah, they're over $200
Each.
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 Yeah.
That doesn't include the wires.
No, that includes the wires,
The
the broadcast box, the TriCaster.
Because no one else sees this. See,
No.
we see all this stuff, wires
Right.
and boxes and cameras and
Yeah.
tripods and.
Oh, yeah. And then you get the laptop, the software. That you have 4 different softwares running the program that our new producers is doing. That she's doing a great job.
doing a
right?
fantastic
She's doing
job.
a great job. She's running that, and she just knows. I mean, she has an idea because she's been through the program.
Right.
But anyone who doesn't know, you just press a button. I don't know who did these graphics, you know what I mean? Make all
Right.
this run. There's all
Right.
different equipment. Do you have equipment for the converter to talk to the laptop, right? The camera software to talk to the laptop, the Ustream software. Then you have to try to communicate through your server here, right? To convert
We know.
Ustream, right?
Yes,
All that
yes,
stuff.
yes. We had lots of fun with that.
Oh yeah, we did.
We did.
And that's a lot of stuff working together to make a shoot like this just work.
Right.
And if you had that and then some, you could actually do a 2-camera shoot. Right.
Right.
Let's say I'm at a game. Could I go back to the game? And the kids, I could grab more interns. Hopefully, that's my ultimate goal, to get them working, get them on a better program. But if you don't have the equipment,
Right.
you can't do it.
So would it be fair to say you need to replace at a minimum $11,000?
Oh, at a minimum.
At a minimum.
At a minimum.
And what are you really looking to replace? Like a number, if you have one. I need you to shoot a little higher because I know.
Right. I mean, I would if I ended up with $18,000, I could get my own setup. Say thank you. I would still keep the same rapport I have.
I
with everybody.
understand, and we're not minimizing anybody here.
No, no.
So we're not saying that you're not grateful.
Oh, not
Or that no.
thank you.
We're not saying any of that. But what we are saying is, what do you need to fulfill your dream?
Of doing this.
Yes.
Oh boy. I mean, just at a minimum, when I said 18, that would get me a couple cameras. It would give me more than enough laptops, and not just the equipment alone.
Right.
You know?
Right. So let's talk about this because we talked about fundraisers. So I'm going to backtrack into that if I may.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're a 501c3
Yes.
corporation.
Absolutely. Yep.
So any donation that you receive is completely tax deductible.
Absolutely correct.
And also, how much of that goes specifically? Like, you're not paid,
No, I never get paid.
right?
I do it because I love it.
And Lucy's not paid,
Right.
and nobody's paid,
No, it's all for the love of these kids.
right?
On our time.
And so, any donation that you receive, how much of that is actually going to go to?
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it. It all goes into the equipment to help help promote these kids and hopefully help these other kids in colleges to learn their craft. Because, on another note, some of these kids are not going to get hired by ESPN.
Right.
Or Nestle.
Although you have one.
I do have one young lady. She's working for the Boston Bruins now.
Ooh.
So she's like the stageman, but she always thanks every time I talk to her. Thank you for teaching what you taught me. I
You
learned a
shouldn't
lot.
teach them so well.
Huh?
You shouldn't teach them so well. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, they're all determined too. They're all
Right,
determined,
right.
I mean, Chase Little, God bless him. He has one more week. I just finished his survey and his evaluation for his assistant professor that's running the course season with me, and he's gone, but he wants to stay. He wants to keep on doing it. I said, you're more than welcome to.
Right, right.
You're more than welcome to.
So your fundraiser at Home Plate in
Yes,
Taunton
yes.
on February 18th
Yes.
runs from 11 to close.
Basically 11 to close. We're going to try to finalize the flyer. We sent out a quick flyer with thinking 11 to 4, and we only handed out a handful of those. I think there was only like 100 of them. But, yeah, it's going to go exactly. So they basically close the kitchen because all the 20% of the proceeds go to
So
us.
the owner of Home Plate, is this fair to say? The owner of Home Plate knows what happened to you.
Oh, he has a good idea. He doesn't know the whole thing.
Right.
But I think what happened was when he realized we wanted to do a live show, that inspired him, because usually he only does it on Tuesday nights. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really get into the deal of it, and he knew me from being a past sponsor. And now there are 2 home plates. There's one in Norton. I was hoping to see if people could make the Taunton location. They could go to the Norton location. But that ain't gonna happen. But he has an idea. He knows I'm sincere. He knows my mission is to raise money. But that's basically it. But
of it is, it's for dine-in or takeout,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
And it's 20% of your bill.
Of your bill, yes.
And you can get tickets. Where can you get tickets? Let's talk about that.
well, if
I
you-
know I have tickets.
Yep.
You have tickets.
Yep. If you want to email us at all one word, four Deep Sports Talk at yahoo.com, and we're going to post it on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just send me your address, and I'll be more than that. I'll send you a pair of tickets if that's what That's what I'm thinking.
The other thing is, businesses can do sponsorships.
They can.
Okay.
Yep, if they want to do a sponsorship, and we have different sponsorships, and Lucy and I can sit down with whoever's interested, and basically you get more from us, not to get away from all these other nice charities, the youth sports, but we offer you promotional advertising when you
Right.
sponsor our show.
Right.
When there's a score coming out, your business is brought to you by that business.
Right.
And if someone knows you, they know you now.
Right.
There's 2 links on our website. One with a scrolling Rolodex image, and you click it, it takes you to their business. And then on the general sponsorship ad, there's your name of your business and the name of your company, a logo of your business, and your business name. You click that, and that takes you to your business. And then, of course, we mention you.
Right. So
On the radio, I mean.
we're going to come back in a few
Good.
minutes here. I know we're going to wrap that up, but we're
Great.
going to take a quick break, our last break. Host of The Q, a show dedicated to hope, inspiration, and giving back to the community. Please tune in live Monday evenings at 7 p.m. You can also watch us on a V-stream at 4deepsportstalk.com. We have shows dedicated to hunger, yoga adventures, homeopathy, pain relief, and much, much more. We hope to see you Mondays at 7 p.m. Thank you. Good evening. My name's
Just plug in the speaker and, he'd be all over 4 balls deep, admits something like that.
right.
That's how the guys used to joke around. I was saying to myself, Gary, please don't say that. Please don't.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome back. Tonight we're talking to Dominic Damiano, usually our producer, but
Yeah.
sitting in the chair today.
The hot
And,
seat.
yeah, the hot seat. And we're talking about his love of 4 Deep Sports, which is now 44 Sports.
40, yeah,
I have
44.
renamed that. And so we're talking a little bit about the fundraiser.
Yes.
The fundraiser is going to be on February 18th.
Yep.
It's a Saturday night?
It's a Saturday starting at 11 a.m.
Starting at 11.
Yeah, we're going to do a 2-hour show. We're going to take our normal radio spot, stream it like we do your show, and like we do the shows at the radio station. And it's going to be 12. It's going to be noon to 2.
Yeah.
And basically till close, till they shut the kitchen, I believe. You know, as long as you bring in a voucher, we're gonna have a table set up. As soon as you walk in, you'll see someone with a 4 Deep Sports Talk shirt and all the raffle baskets and the 50-50. So if anybody would like, please contribute. Once they contribute a basket, my sister already has 3. I know Lucy's working on some.
Or anybody who can make baskets.
Or anybody can make a basket. Absolutely, thank you. If they want to help out, right now I got a lot of friends. Call him out. My brother's funny, real fast. Quick story note. He's the first one to bust my chops. Oh, this ain't gonna go nowhere. This show is not gonna go nowhere. Why do you wish? Because when I was in Taunton, and then back in the Taunton sports days, and now you see him in Taunton. He's wearing a 4 Deep Sports Talk. Well,
Wasn't going anywhere, though.
Wasn't going nowhere.
Right.
And
9 years later.
9 years later, he's one of my biggest supporters, and he knows when he has a cause, I'm always there.
So we're looking for John that night.
John Damiano. Yeah,
We're looking for him.
Good old John. Love my brother. And then, of course, for my family members, I handed a bunch of tickets out at our normal family family Christmas party, which I exploded my great nephews and
Perfect.
On 4 Deep Sports Talk. Merry Christmas. I don't know if you saw that video yet. It was cute.
I did. Oh, I did.
Yeah,
they
all
were
on the
so
tree.
cute.
They were cute. And thank you.
From our family to yours or something?
Exactly.
Exactly. I did see
Right,
that.
and then a little lower third bar saying Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Yes, that was very
Kids
cute.
were awesome.
Very cute.
Then they started arguing like the normal kids do.
That's all right. They held it together for
They
the
did.
for the shoot.
They held it out for Uncle Dom. They did a
That's
good
right.
job.
That's right.
So,
So how many people do we think can fit in this place
oh my God, I think at least 2 1/4. I hope there's not
per
a lot.
hour?
Per hour. Oh my God.
Flip
That was a
everybody.
slip.
It's open bar.
There's no open- and then you go to the right. There's a bunch of tables, and the left, and there's actually a patio that's all all with the glass thing.
Oh, it's
all glass.
enclosed.
So thank you.
Yep.
It's all enclosed. They get tables out there. So I'm hoping that we fill that up really well.
Right.
And then when we walk in, the first thing you're going to see is the fundraising table. If we already have permission from the owner. If they come in, they ask about it, you can give them a ticket voucher,
Right.
a coupon.
And they don't have to do anything. Let's just be clear about this. So all you have to do is eat there or take out.
Yeah.
And as long as you have the ticket,
Right.
20% of your bill will go to 4 Deep Sports.
Absolutely.
Which is wonderful. So
Right.
thank you to Home Plate for that.
Oh, thank you.
I mean,
Exactly. Especially changing the day. And they didn't have to do that. And then I know we talked off air a little bit about getting
and we have a snow day.
We have a snow day, 25th.
Yep.
Yep.
Same time.
Same time.
Same bat location.
Same bad location. Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So that's going to be, we got that squared away. And then working on our GoFundMe page. And we want to finally get that done. We're hoping to get this done, get that done this week so we can get the flyer updated. I know Lucy's going to knock that out. And then we're going to make 8 zillion copies of that. And I'm going to go around all locations, and I'm sending out to all the ADs that I've helped, cover their schools. Please help us.
Right. Right.
And it's in a couple tickets.
And-
So
and
we have
it-
a plan of attack.
Yeah, and it's an unfortunate events that happen.
Yeah.
But you really have turned it around into a positive thing, and I don't.
Thank you.
You haven't missed a beat.
Thank
I
you.
understand your dilemma with you really feel you're imposing on people, but
Right.
you haven't missed a beat with the kids and
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for
the
that.
show here.
Right.
So I want to leave you with this quote for
Okay.
tonight. You know how I always like my quotes.
Yes, I do.
And this is really for you, not for your athletes.
Okay.
But I like this one. It says, "You were given this life because you are strong enough to live it."
Oh, nice.
And I just love that one because you really are strong enough to overcome such adversity and find something positive, such as a fundraiser, to continue doing what you're doing. So great job on that. And
Thank you.
wish you the best. I know I'll be there, and I am handing out tickets left and right.
Thank you. I
Every chance I
appreciate it.
get. So thank you again.
Well, thank you for having me.
Perfect.
And once it goes to normal, I gotta save that file so we can put it on your stick.
Yeah, got to go on the stick.
And then we're gonna shoot it out to people on Facebook.
Yep.
All set?